personal life, work life, all of the volunteer stuff that you do?
Well, it's being, you just sleep hard, sleep fast, and move fast, and just, it's just something that it's every time you think that there's not another thing that you can put on your plate, something else comes up and you're able to do it. And I think it's just trying to be. People are very kind and helpful and try to work with you. And so I think it's what you can do. I think it's hard at some point uh, to be able to do everything, but a lot is your background and your makeup. Some people need to sleep 8 hours. I don't. Some people, I like to work at a fast pace. I do better the more I'm under the gun. I think the faster my mind works and the better it is, at least knock wood so far. And so, and some people thrive on that kind of activities, and other people don't. And I think a lot depends on how you're made as to how much you can do and what you can do. But I do think that people and lawyers, judges, all need to be a part of the community and not make the law and the legal their whole life.
How have you seen that
They
change?
need that perspective.
Yeah, have you seen that change? I mean, the separation of judges not mingling with the rest of the community as much. Have you noticed any differences there?
I think there is some of that. There is a difference. Uh, I don't think it's sexist to say, but I do think that that men are spending more time with their kids, more time with their families. Whereas I think before, what happened a lot of times, the uh, uh, the mother was the one that took them to the ball games, took them to the various organizations and all like that. So people try to make family a priority as well as their work. That's a good thing. But there has been a tendency of judges. Some judges are very involved with organizations and do a lot, and some others feel like they shouldn't do it because it might impinge on what people may look at their uh, ability to be fair and impartial and their impartiality. I don't agree with that. Judges, the more they mix with attorneys, the better judges I think they can be because they see what's going on and they're not sitting in kind of an ivory tower.
And has that changed a lot, the judges interacting since you've been in practice?
I would say that judges seem to interact more with attorneys in the older in the older time than I see them now.
And there's probably the appearance of impropriety kind of thing.
I think so, and but it's important that they do. It gives them a perspective. It's I miss the time when the bar conventions were together to where the judges were at the bar convention or they were able to have them at the same time and they had a lot of mixing and certain seminars that went back and forth. I will say this: I think our Supreme Court is very active in getting out in the community, and the court and a lot of the Court of Appeals judges. I think they are very involved, and they do that, and I think it's great. Don't you?
I do, yeah. I mean, I think it does make a big difference as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, can you tell us some funny stories about when you first started practicing? You told us a little bit about some mistakes you made. Can you elaborate on some?
Well, the we had one judge uh, that I went in front of, and he would get very angry if you came anywhere near his bench. Didn't last long. It was a commissioner, and I remember I had my file, and he wanted a question answered, and I was trying to look through it, and I had it with my hand underneath it, but I couldn't look through it because it was big. So I had to tip resting on the bench while I was standing in front of him, and he said, "Get your file off your bench. I am not going to do that." And he sent me out, and he would not hear the case. So I had to go to another judge because my client was there from out of town. So he was really upset. So, um, so I learned not to rest my file on the bench. I'll tell you that. Not at all. But it's some of the people that I dealt with. Uh, they would tell you great stories about what happened. I don't think things happen as funny as it used to be. It's all work. It seems to be all work and not a lot of play anymore. It seems to be very serious. You don't have the uh, you don't have the kind of give and take in the courtroom that you used to have, where the people knew you and you knew them and all. It's all very, very, very serious and very proper, which is maybe what it should be, but it was kind of fun. And the other time when you had like the Royalstons, and they would make jokes from the bench. And I remember one time when Richard came in, and he came in and he kind of tripped and almost fell, and he got up and he said, "Now for my next trick." So it was just it was just a different day.
Do you think it was because it was a smaller community?
I think it was because it was a smaller community, and because there weren't as many people ready to say, "Oh, because you're joking around that you're not taking something seriously," or because that you're maybe not being impartial, um, or that you're not being judicial. And so there's a lot more eyes watching and too many telecommunicating and being able to take pictures and all like that. At one time, people used to go; they would have a hearing out of town. The judge, the defense attorney, and the plaintiff's attorney, they'd all go out to dinner. They don't do that anymore.
From this point going forward, I know you're still involved with a lot of organizations. What kinds of things do you still want to do in your legal career?
I like to learn. I think I took a course at Kenny Hagelin's, a couple of his courses on uh, um, at the law school, which I really enjoyed. Um, that was something that I hadn't been able to take when I was in law school. I like to take more courses and be able to learn different areas of the law. I like something that's a little different that I haven't done before. I got to sit as a judge pro tem on a criminal bench. I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed it. I liked doing it. It was something that I learned, had done years ago, and was bringing myself up to date. So I like to stretch. I don't like to keep doing the same thing over and over again. I like to try new things. So I'd like to continue to do that if I can.
As we go forward, um, the world, I know we've got a lot going on politically right now. What kinds of things do we need to do to continue to move forward, to continue to be a diverse community?
Well, I think one of the major things we have to do is to protect the integrity of the judiciary, and the integrity of judges to be able to decide cases without fear of reprisals. And as Judge O'Connor said, uh, she said that a activist judge is one who goes to work. So, and I agree. I think that it's something that judges need to judge. It is important that we protect the judiciary and the independence of the judiciary. That to me is a major issue that seems to be around. Um, the other thing that we need to do is to make sure that we continue to have diversity in the law schools, in the legal profession and make sure that we protect these rights of individuals to be able to go to law school, to be able to be to and to nurture them and to mentor them, and to try to start in the early grades so that they can become more minorities can become lawyers and more minorities can be involved in the legal profession.
What recommendations do you have for people who are starting out their legal career now?
Find mentors, be willing to be involved, be involved in your community and in various legal organizations because it's a great networking tool. It'll be great for you in the future, and it's a great learning tool. I think more people need to be out there involved in their local bar associations, in the county bars, in the women lawyers, Los Abogados, the Minority Bar Association, all of the everything that they can do to widen their horizons will pay them back in the end because they'll learn more, they'll be better lawyers, and they'll be better members of the community.
You mentioned a quote from Sandra Day O'Connor. Did you know Sandra Day O'Connor?
Yes, I did. I was very good friends with her sister, Ann Day, who died in a terrible car crash recently. But I had known Ann, and I was in Hawaii for a Ninth Circuit District Conference in Maui. And I was the afternoon, and I knew that Justice O'Connor was the Ninth Circuit judge at that time, and she was there at the hotel. And so it was like afternoon, and I thought, so I called her room, cold called, and called her, and I said, "This is Dee Dee Samet. I'm a friend of your sister's. I know her, and I was going to go out and play golf this afternoon because we don't have anything scheduled. Would you like to go?" She said, "Yes, I'll be ready." And we went out and we played golf. We played 9 holes of golf on the golf course. So
wow.
It was, I had my heart in my throat, but I thought, well, why not? Nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Was it amazing?
It was. And she was a good golfer. She was very good. She had a really nice ball. And then I played with her a couple of other times with Ann, and we had played after that with that. But that was kind of fun to do.
Wow. Now, is there anything else that you wish I would have asked you about that I haven't asked you about yet?
I think you've been pretty thorough there. I feel like I've been grilled. Now I know what a defendant feels like being cross-examined. No, you've been very nice, and I appreciate this.
Well, thank you. Well, my final question to you is, could you tell us just how you would like to be remembered?
I'd like to be remembered as someone who did what they could for people, and I like to be liked. That people think that they remember me with warmth and fondness.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us, Sam.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.